Just to make it 28-3. Arthur Blank loving it. Up by 25. Toss to White. He's in. What a comeback.
All right, welcome to another episode of Saintsaholics Anonymous. I'm Max, here with Corey, Nick.
Yeah,
Today we're going to play the What If game.
Yep.
With a local flair.
That's right.
This is your idea. This is your brainchild. Do you want to go ahead and give us a breakdown of what you're thinking?
I will give you all the rundown. So a lot is made or has been made. We talk about it all the time. How many players in general and then how many awesome, great NFL players come from the great state of Louisiana, from our home state. And, you know, whether that's born here or prepped here, played high school. We said we don't know how many played high school here of note that weren't born here, but it's talked about a lot. How many, you know, even the quarterbacks. I think there's like 6 Louisiana quarterbacks that have played in Super Bowls. And so we kind of I had the thought when we're coming up with topics of if we could go back in time and decide what Louisiana player, Louisiana-born or high school player, that has not been on the Saints, would you pick to be on the Saints, and who would help the most? You know, maybe decide to choose one on offense, one on defense, and we're going to go with one who's a past player, so retired, and then each pick one who's on each side who's a current player. And the idea is that, you know, which not necessarily like who's the best, because if you're saying like, oh, well, who's the best, then for example you would just say like, oh, well, Peyton Manning. It's not that linear. It's who could help the team the most if you picked them to be on the team, and you have to take into account if anybody picks a guy like Peyton Manning, then you're very likely Back to the Future style erasing Drew Brees from that photograph. So you gotta take that into account. And you know, I don't know if we're going to get into all.
Well, I think you need to phrase that a little better. You mean for we've talked about it, but you're saying if you're picking a player, you have to replace them from their era.
So
It's just,
part
you have to factor in the
yes.
effect it would have on the team.
Right.
So
I'm saying you didn't explain it fully, that you're not selecting a past player on today's team.
Correct.
Yeah,
you are selecting,
right.
if you select someone like from Peyton Manning's era, clearly Brees was from his era, so you would
Yeah, I
lose
mean, I
Brees.
thought that went without saying, but yeah, obviously if you're picking, you're not taking past Peyton Manning and putting him on today's
current
team.
Saints, right.
Peyton Manning was a rookie in 1998.
Whoever you go with,
He played,
16, 17, 18, somewhere around then.
I'm going to say 18 was his last year.
Yeah, I think so. So if you pick Peyton Manning, and this is just an example, he automatically supplants whoever the Saints starter was at quarterback from his rookie year of 1998
right,
all the way through the end of his career.
Yeah, you have to make that assumption.
Right. So Brees, basically he wipes out Brees all the way until 2018 or whatever.
Pretty much.
Now, current day is much easier because it's just basically
current
the
day.
team.
You're putting a guy on today's team.
Correct.
And look, we're not going to go into so much granular detail of like, well, if you picked a current guy who was drafted in round 1 of the 2022 draft, that means we don't draft whoever we draft. It's not that granular. It's just like who the current players is who currently playing from Louisiana can most help the Saints now. And then
but I think it also needs to be they are number 1 on the depth chart at whatever position it is.
Yeah, they'll definitely replace whoever is there now that you think is less.
Right, so if you took a wide receiver, you're assuming they are your number 1 ahead of Olave.
Correct.
Right,
pretty much.
And all the way down with any other position.
Yeah, and same with defense, corner,
right,
edge, whatever.
So our guardrails are going to be they have to have been born in the state of Louisiana.
Yep.
Or played high school football.
Yeah, because generally when people say who's from Louisiana, they typically most of the time it's born here, but a lot of times it's, you know, they talk about high school, all the great high school players we had come out of the state.
Right. So just so everyone knows, that eliminates anyone who came and played ball at LSU but might be from Florida.
Yeah, so Joe Burrow, even though he did the whole EAUX on his jersey and he's adopted Louisiana, he's not going to be eligible for selection. Just letting y'all know that on the front end.
Okay.
So my idea, so I'm going to tee it off to y'all.
Well, I think why don't we start off with the current day selections, because I think the past is going to be a little more juicy.
Yeah.
So, what's the least sexy?
Or
of the options we can take?
I could lead off to
Go for it. What
give
you
an
want?
example.
You start with offense or defense? Who you going? Current day.
I'm going to start. I'll go offense and we'll come back around and do defense. How about
Sounds
that?
good.
To me, it's a do not think the room kind of no brainer. It's Jamar Chase.
Okay.
Rummel guy, Catholic League prep, but you think about when he's drafted. Obviously, Olave, but Chase is the guy that we've been chasing to most deliberately throw a pun in there. I think to me that's a no brainer. There's another guy from Louisiana who's a wide receiver who some might think is better than him. And look, there's other offensive guys as well, but I think based on the way the team's built, you throw him in there, it's scary. So that would be pick number one.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. To me, it's a no-brainer. It comes down to the two players you referenced. I'm going to go ahead and assume you're talking about Justin Jefferson as the other one.
Yeah.
Gesture hands on. So, to me, the biggest need on offense right now that still remains is wide receiver. The wide receiver room, when you get past Olave, is a bunch of question marks. Even Olave, with his history of head injuries, concussions, all that stuff, he's still he's not 100% dependable year in, year out. We still need to see him put together a stretch of a few seasons in a row without dealing with any concussions or any other
And
injuries.
he's nowhere near in their class anyway. Doesn't matter.
He's not. He's absolutely not in their class. I also went with Jamar Chase. I think he is the superior player to Jefferson anyway.
Well, I thought we weren't repicking.
I was about to say.
So you have-
Well, no, we said before, you have to, I'm not going to change my pick just because he picked.
No, but you got to pick somebody else. So you can acknowledge that would have been your pick, but what's as a second
then I'll
option,
take Chase.
you'll
I
take.
thought we literally just said that we could take the same one, but all right, I'll
thought we
take.
said the opposite.
I thought we said the opposite as well.
I'll take Justin Jefferson. Dan Chase is a superior player, but Jefferson is a far superior player to Olave, so it's also a no-brainer at the biggest position of need. Like Corey said, it transforms the offense at that point if you can go ahead and plug in a true alpha elite wide receiver and bump Olave down to 1B or 2, whatever you want to call him. To me, there's no other options. So now that we are going this way and treating it like a draft, I'm very curious to see who you pick because the pickings are slim.
It's still not slim. It's CeeDee Lamb, right?
Yep.
And you could even go Malik Neighbors.
CD's from Opelousas.
Right. And
I couldn't take Malik Neighbors off of one season, but CD, but he's a tier below the other two, I think.
I agree. I would have picked the other two before him for sure. But
what would your
still,
order be?
That would be my order.
Chase and
those
Jefferson
four,
and then Lamb, and then Neighbors.
Yeah, and I say that because I think we just signed the best Louisiana running back that's currently in the league, and from there, where do you go from there? That there's no quarterback, right? That was born or went to high school here that you would replace Shuck with, and
Dak is from Louisiana.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
No, he was born in Louisiana.
He is.
I'm saying I wouldn't do it.
No, I'm just throwing that out there just so everyone's aware.
Right. I think Dak's already on the tail end of his career, and I'd much prefer, 6 more seasons of Shuck to get to Dak's age. What's Dak, 33? 32, 33?
Something like that.
So I'm sticking with a receiver. There's no tight end that came to mind. I didn't research it. I just tried to go off of memory with it.
Yeah.
Just and I think our biggest needed receiver, like Max said, is receiver. I mean, our biggest need at any position offensively is receiver currently, unless you could get a Brees or a Peyton or something at quarterback. If that existed, I would still take that and bench Shuck.
Right.
If there was one of those guys, there's not. So it goes to receiver, and I think I think CeeDee would transform the team as well. I think obviously the first two guys are the best two in the league in my opinion. Yeah. I think Jamar is a step above everyone just because they're, it seems he can do absolutely anything. Jefferson maybe not as good as a touchdown scoring receiver, maybe not as good as a jump ball type receiver, even though he makes incredible catches. You're really splitting hairs between the two of them, but I just think Chase is the best receiver in the league, so that would have been my first pick as well.
Well, let's treat this snake style, so you go ahead and go defense, and then I'll go in and Corey.
Yeah.
There's a few options here too, but I would go Stingley.
Yeah.
We just lost Alante. We've talked. Are we going to take a corner in the draft? Do we take pass rushers? I just think he's a top 3 corner in the league. He's only 24 years old. He's all pro already. I think that would really solidify the back half of the with the secondary, which was excellent last year. Add a guy like that into the equation, and it could be crazy good. So I think it'd be hard to skip over him for anybody.
Okay. Yeah, he would be my first choice as well, but I think the second choice is an easy one. It's Jeffrey Simmons. He was actually born in Louisiana. Dude is just an absolute monster at defensive tackle. Whenever a Titans game is on TV, I swear to God, that dude is just wrecking the opposing team's offensive line.
Yeah.
And, if you could plug him into the middle of our defensive line right now, I would feel so much better. At that point, you're bumping everyone else down a peg, and you're just making I think the performance of that unit and the outlook of that unit so much better. Because he's only 28 years old, I think, so he's still in his prime.
You can play for a long time at that position, too. So
Yeah, absolutely. And just think if you're not depending on Brees to be the one, or Gottschall, or Nathan Shepard, or any of those guys, and you can just bump everybody down a peg, you're living well at that point. So.
And another all-pro, proven.
Yeah.
Fairly young still.
Yeah, he's
no one
unquestionably one of the top defensive
He'd be
tackles
our best defensive lineman across the board obviously. So,
yeah. Who you got, Corey?
Yeah, I mean, now it's
tough.
Now it's tough. I'm looking. Tre'Davious White is an option. He's got tread on the tires.
Not much,
but it's. I mean, like he's got skins on the wall, but it's he's getting up there.
Played okay this year in Buffalo, but
what's funny is Justin Reed's on there, so he wouldn't quite qualify.
Dutchtown High, baby.
Yeah, it's a tough one. An interesting one. You look at a guy like L'Jarius Sneed, who just recently. I don't think he's signed with anyone.
He hasn't signed.
He's been making the rounds.
He was a massive disappointment
I
in the
know.
last 2 years.
That's worked out for the Chiefs. Let him go. They just let's see what happens with McDuffie. Those guys got all pro, and then we'll see if they can recreate that. Did they traded him, or he just left in free agency?
The Chiefs traded him for a third, because I remember this was right about the time all the rumors of Lattimore being traded from the Saints started floating around. And I remember Sneed, who was kind of looked at, maybe not as good as Lattimore, but somewhat in that same range, he only fetched a third.
Yeah.
So at that point, I remember thinking, like, fuck, if he's only getting a third, what are the Saints going to get for Lattimore? Turns out we got a third and a fifth. So, a little bit more, but not much more. Yeah, it's...
I think Corey's got to go line. Does Devin White... He's born in Louisiana, right?
The guy that I
Patrick
really
Queen.
like is also Patrick Queen.
Yeah, both of them.
So, looking at I got the list pulled up right now for my selections, but I got to go with Queen. Obviously, with our issues at linebacker, I mean, not issues, but just
there's a hole at
with the
middle linebacker.
DeMario issue, and he could fill in that exact spot. So, now
you almost have to go him just by default
process of elimination.
And even he's not that. He's a clear 2 tiers below the other 2 guys.
Yeah,
he's not an all-pro.
He's one of those. You sign him now, it maybe he has a resurgence and Staley's defense type of thing, like some other guys have had. But yeah, what is his birthplace even? I mean, like what city? It's not showing me on here. Let's see, high school. Oh, Livonia. There you go. They're always in state playoffs and whatnot. Yeah. So drafted in 2020. He's 27 until he turns 27 in August. So out of what's left, that's who I'd go with.
There's not much left on defense. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I thought you'd have to go Devin White or Patrick Queen would have been the 2, and neither of them at this point. I mean, Devin White's coming off a huge year, but at this point in their career, nowhere near the Stingley Simmons level. I wouldn't say that, but as a third pick, that's a hole on our team currently. I think a true middle linebacker, losing DeMario, that you could plug one of them in.
Yeah. No, but I think y'all taking Simmons and Stingley. That wipes it out. But clearly
Of the
top
elite.
two.
Those are the two elite. Those are the two elite players,
yeah.
bro.
And there's other you look through. There's names on there like, oh, okay, cool, that guy's from Louisiana. But Grant Delpit, he had he was
He's starting, but we're kind of good at safety.
But yeah, Deion White,
There's just no one that
funny
jumps
'cause
out as a massive improvement. Over.
I didn't realize Malcolm Roach is from Louisiana, so we actually had him.
Would that change your decision?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't think so.
No, I was looking at him when I picked Queen. But there's interesting names, but with the current, maybe it could be reclassified like Louisiana has great offensive guys in the league right now.
Well, they put a lot of draft picks. I mean, Honey Badger just retired.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Jamal Adams was an All-Pro. Trey White, like you said. Then you had, who was the corner? Claiborne played for a decade. There's been plenty. Yeah. I just think of today's last 5 years, it's certainly been offensively focused coming out of LSU. Will Campbell could have been a pick on offense if you wanted to take another offensive lineman, move him to guard maybe, right? Because we talked about that on a previous spot. I think
there's a wealth of talent that is from this state. Just looking at the list, there's no shortage to pick from. We'll say that.
Yeah.
So do we want to move on to the historical?
Yeah, we can do that. So Jefferson.
How are we doing this? Are we going to do the same order?
Chase. So we had Chase, Jefferson, and then you went with
Neighbors.
Who was your final? Neighbors?
Neighbors was number 4. I went with CD.
CD.
Okay.
That's right. Sorry.
Makes sense.
For defense, I had Jeffrey Simmons. He had Stingley, and you went with Patrick
Queen.
One of these things is not like the others.
Yeah.
It's not terrible, though. He's a bona fide
It's not
starter.
terrible, but he's not. It's not. Yeah.
Would he be our best linebacker?
Probably.
Right now, yeah.
So it's not a terrible.
And it's it's pre-draft, so it's
I don't think he would
don't
really move. I don't think he transformed to defense. So
I don't think so either. But I think
Peyton Ellis has an argument to be as effective as Patrick Queen right now.
Yeah, it'd be like one of those necessary hole plugging situations.
Yeah.
He's probably older than Queen, though, isn't he?
He's older, but they were about the same caliber of player.
Yeah.
So should we flip the order up on this one?
Sure.
What do we want to do first, offense or defense?
Go offense first.
All right, I'm going first this time.
All right. So who you got?
This is an absolute no-brainer.
I don't think it is, but I know.
Well, for me, it is.
I know who you're picking, and I agree. But then when you realize who you have to give up, it's hard.
For offense,
I think so. Go ahead.
I'm going with Marshall Faulk.
Yeah, of course. Think of who you have to give up.
I don't
Who
care
do you
who I
have to give up?
Deuce, Reggie.
Well, we drafted.
No,
we drafted
Faulk
Deuce
came
when
out
we-
in
94.
94.
All the way to
He was-
05. Reggie's first year was his last year.
That's
I think
fine.
we
I'll
still
give
could
up
have-
Reggie's first year.
Could have
That's
drafted
fine.
Deuce.
You lose Deuce.
I think the main one you don't
lose Ricky.
I think. Well,
I'm fine losing Ricky.
if
just
you
saying,
ha-
that's
if
a
you-
lot.
I'm fine losing
If you
Deuce.
have Marshall Faulk, you don't have the Ricky Williams draft debacle.
True.
Yeah,
Might
that's a
have
big.
Champ Bailey.
You might. Who knows
I
what
mean,
Dick would
that
do?
was when I was looking at him. That was the one that's
Thunder and Lightning. I got it figured out.
That jumped off. That jumped off my head. Pretty.
Yeah, let's go ahead and go back a little bit further. So you and I, Jesuit High School, sitting in front of homeroom every single morning. This is back when there was actually a physical Times-Picayune paper, and we would just grab the paper from the house, trash the rest of it, and just bring the sports section. And you'd be sitting in front of homeroom, laid out, sprawled out, reading the sports section. And the two people, 8th, 9th grade that were always popping up in there were Peyton Manning, Marshall Faulk. There were always articles about the two because both were from New Orleans. And, you're just reading about them. And then Faulk obviously playing at San Diego State. He went to, Carver High School.
Everyone wanted him to play corner. He had to go to San Diego State when he didn't want to.
He was legendary at San Diego State, and we were watching him then, just following him then. And then you see him become a first-round pick. Takes the NFL by storm, becomes a Hall of Fame player, gets truly unlocked in St. Louis, where he's, 1,000. I mean, he was the best offensive player in football during his prime.
Yeah.
He was just unstoppable, especially on turf. in St. Louis, they played on turf just like us, and this is back when it was actually carpet. It really was turf. It wasn't this, the ground-up tires that kind of fly around. They were playing on carpet.
Yeah.
And Falk was just unstoppable.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Plus, he's likable.
94,
he's fucking likable.
94 to 05, so I think it still keeps the Deuce option...
No, it keeps the Reggie option.
That was
absolutely.
his dead prime. No way they're drafting Deuce with him.
I could see him absolutely drafting Reggie, though. I don't think you miss out on Reggie.
You probably
Yeah, you
don't,
don't
because he would have been in his 30s at that point.
Yeah, they look at him as this is the successor. Boom. Deuce, what year was Deuce drafted?
Same as Brees, 2001.
Okay.
If you think of Marshall Falk,
His dead prime.
The biggest
They
thing to
weren't gonna
me
draft him,
was
for
when
sure.
we had the Haslett, the defense in the year we beat the Rams in the playoffs was pretty badass, I thought. And so you add a
Happy
Marshall
lunch bunch.
Yeah, you add Marshall Falk as the running back to that offense. It changes things in terms of playoff trajectory.
Because remember, Ricky Williams was hurt
right
for the playoffs, and we trotted out
Morton.
the broken
I hear
down
you, but-
version of Terry Allen.
Yes, but that team was not going to win a Super Bowl with Marshall Falk. No way.
Changes things.
It
on.
makes it
Would have been a
interesting.
hell of a lot more fun.
It makes
but
it makes
no
it
way.
interesting.
With the 1999-2000 Marshall Falk.
It makes it interesting, man. I'm not going to say.
Aaron
never
Brooks
at that
era, Billy Joe era. I don't know, dude.
point. AB.
Aaron Brooks and Marshall Falk could have done some damage.
Who's our offensive
Joe
coordinator? Mike
McCarthy.
McCarthy. Yeah, he would have figured out how to use him.
Brooks, Joe Horn, and Falk is a pretty good trio.
Willie Jackson too, baby. Don't
Willie
forget Willie
Jackson.
Jackson. Was our guy.
Walking in New Orleans.
Will Jack.
Yeah, look, man. I'm not. There would have been. It would have been a fun.
It would have been my number one pick.
It would have been a fun wrinkle.
Yeah.
And I'm fine losing. I love Deuce. I'm fine losing Deuce for Falk because that is that's an upgrade. I'm sorry, that's a Hall of Fame player.
Yeah.
Deuce obviously is one of the greatest what ifs ever because if he stays healthy for the entirety of his career and doesn't blow his knee out, that dude could have really made a case for the Hall of Fame. But the reality is the longevity wasn't there with him. His rookie year he only had like 220 yards. So
That's because we had Ricky, but then they saw and they got rid of
No, I
him.
know, but you're missing out on 3 years of Deuce. Give me the 10 years of Falk. Easy. It's not even a question.
Yeah, starting
Did you look up? Was that right of when he retired?
2005.
It was 5. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so I'm fine with that because you don't miss out on Reggie. You still draft Reggie, which gives you the draft excitement.
Yeah, Pro Bowl, 7 Pro Bowls, 3 first-team All-Pros. I mean,
Hall of Fame. So that's
Hall of Fame, 1,000. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen often at all. It's just him, McCaffrey, and Roger Craig, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
McCaffrey just did it right this year. Wasn't it this year? He did it in Carolina too. Did he get it this year?
I don't think
he
he
was
got it this
close.
year. He was close. I don't think he got it though. He was on pace for a hot minute. But
Yeah, I think he.
Yeah, look, to me, Marshall Falk was, and look, this is when the Saints were, the Dome Patrol was essentially done at that point, and we kind of went into the era of the Billy Joes and all that, and man, that would have just been incredible.
You get him on
It would have been incredible to go from the Dome Patrol and just have that to hang your hat on, all of a sudden to being able to have Marshall Falk, local kid, best offensive player in the league.
that would have been great.
It would have been incredible.
Because the 94 through the post between Mora and Haslett was pretty fucking awful.
It was bad.
And so Marshall Falk would have filled at least, doesn't guarantee success. Obviously, we know, especially we know Nick feels about running backs affecting your team's success. But
Little different back then.
little
than
different.
today.
Very
back
different back
then.
then.
But anyway,
Look, as much as we all loved Ricky Williams, when we drafted him, it was to that point probably the most exciting draft pick in Saints history. You and I were working at Morton Seaford at that point. We were freaking the fuck out. Like, it was incredible.
Oh yeah, I was pumped. I mean,
We weren't even like yelling about the draft compensation of giving up the entire draft.
we just couldn't believe they would take Mario Williams ahead of him. Now they ended up right.
No, talking about Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams. I
We
thought you were
couldn't
talking
believe
about
they would
when we
take,
drafted
Edgerrin
Reggie.
James going ahead of him was a surprise. But yeah, the Reggie Bush thing became obviously the most exciting draft pick ever.
I think that was the most
It
exciting.
was, but up until then, it was Ricky and nothing else.
Yeah.
So, to me, it's a no-brainer, Falk. But who's going next? You go.
next.
Ooh, that's tough. Like, like Corey said, when you look at taking Peyton, what I was thinking through.
You're not fucking doing this.
It's 8 years. It's 8 extra years.
Oh my God! I can't believe
man.
it. You're gonna do
He's
it?
making it
I don't
spicy.
know. I
Making
thought
spicy.
about it. Think about.
Time out.
I guess the question is legitimately is
It's almost a decade more of a Brees.
you have to think,
Do you take
we
it or
have
not?
multiple more.
I think
Super
anybody
Bowls.
else would take it. I'm just surprised you would do it because that's your guy.
If it was anywhere close to years, I wouldn't even think about it. I think Brees is a better player. But do you take 8 more years of having a Drew Brees? Because we didn't get Brees for 5 years of his career to start his career.
If you're talking,
we got him in 06.
Peyton would have been.
Peyton came in 98.
And you're adding him to what was already there, right? So you're adding him. He comes in, and within the first 2 years, he's the Brooks / Jeff Blake replacement. So he's your quarterback in that first playoff win era.
Yeah, it gives you.
And then he's still the quarterback, obviously, for the Super Bowl 09 era. He's the QB on the 2011 team, and now he doesn't make it to the 2017, 2018.
Hold on, though.
team, but
Manning was done in 2015. Was his last year.
Right. That's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, he said
So
2018
you gain,
at first. So
but it's when he's
well, no.
drafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you gain 8 years for us because we didn't get Drew to 06.
bear in mind, though, you also missed the 2011 season, which was Brees' arguably his best year. So you also miss out on
Right,
that
but
because
I got
Manning missed the
Peyton.
whole year that year.
Who beat his records the next year or whatever, right? Or 2 years down the road. I think Brees is a superior player to Peyton Manning. That's my personal opinion.
We
I
agree.
don't-
I agree with you. I don't know if Corey does, but I agree with you.
So you lose 06.
No, I agree.
So do you trade because you'd get Brees in what 15, right? 2015 to 20.
You only lose. Well, hold on. Brees was drafted in 2000, right?
2001,
2000.
right?
I thought it was 01.
Yeah,
Okay, so
Brady
it
was
01.
2000. He was the year after
Yeah,
Brady.
We didn't get Brees until
No, Brady was
06,
99,
Obviously, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. So you don't get 7 years of Brees.
and you still get the last 6, and you get 8 more with Peyton. It's something to think about. Like that's going to be 2
It is,
decades
it is.
of
I'm just-
dominant
and-
QB play.
and-
I'm just surprised that
And you
would
have a
lose
man,
any
and,
season
and you
of
have a
Brees.
Manning playing for the Saints. You know, it would have been
Which
it would have
is,
been the whole,
you got to put that in. You want to talk excitement in the draft?
Oh,
you wanna,
absolutely.
the whole town would
I'm
have
not
gone
going to argue with that.
crazy.
Yeah, that would be hands down the most exciting draft pick ever.
the first NFL son of Archie come and first team he plays for is us.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
lose 7 seasons of Brees.
You pick up 8 extra seasons of Brees level play or close to Brees level
No,
play.
you pick up 7 extra seasons.
I mean, it's
98,
You missed
99.
2011.
Oh, that was 2011 was his neck year?
That's what I'm saying, which was Brees' best year.
I see.
That's tough, bro. You miss out on that offensive juggernaut, who some people would say was the best Saints team ever.
now here's an
The
argument.
players would tell you that.
It's the best offense. It
here's
was not
something
the
to think
best
about.
team. The defense was an atrocious
What
defense.
makes this pick interesting is that Peyton played Brees in the Super Bowl and Brees won.
You completely change history.
So Brees goes to the
It
Colts.
guarantees us a Super Bowl.
So hold on. So
I don't know, but if-
7. But no, this is really good.
Because
This
does
is a good
Peyton
thought.
lose a Super Bowl in 09 if Brees is on the other side?
This is a good thought exercise because look, 2011 is wiped out because Manning had an injured neck and didn't play the whole year. 1998, Manning went 3-13, 26 touchdowns,
I know,
28
rookie year.
interception. So you're losing 6 prime Manning seasons.
You're gaining 6 prime.
I'm sorry,
And-
you're gaining 6 prime Manning seasons.
And the only reason he kept playing at the end was because he had that defense in Denver. You know, we wouldn't have been able to
that
help.
was the corpse of Peyton Manning.
We
that won the
wouldn't
Super Bowl
be
that
able to
year.
help him in the last 2 years.
Well, we would have, right? What was his last year?
No, 2015.
15,
We
right
were
before.
not good,
yeah, it
so-
wasn't until 17 we turned it
So
around.
you're losing 5 prime Manning seasons because he was an animal in 2014, 39
Right.
touchdowns.
He set
15
every
interceptions.
record. Right.
He was awful in 2015, 9 touchdowns, 17 interceptions.
Yeah.
So you lose 5 prime Manning years.
Manning?
I'm sorry, I keep
Brees.
messing it up.
Yes, but
You
then
lose
you
5,
get get Brees right back in 16.
I think you have to
16,
assume
17,
Brees is
18,
playing
19, 20.
for a different team. I don't know. We
Yeah,
didn't
you
go-
don't get Brees at that
We didn't
point.
go over those.
Well, then you don't
parameters.
get douche. You don't get you
No,
know.
that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. No, you have to assume that you do get him because that's the way we're doing
Okay.
it.
We're just changing out the block of the career.
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I guess you have to do that.
Brees
So that's
gets-
a tough
It's tough,
exercise.
dude. That's tough.
Because 5 years of elite QB play
Yeah.
changes our early 20s and Corey's, newborn years.
Now, now, also bear in mind that Manning's first couple of years were right next to Marshall Faulk.
God.
Which, if we're
But he
doing
had
this
Marshall
exercise, is Faulk on the Saints at this point?
Well,
Are we going that
But Manning had.
granular?
Oh, no.
Manning had Falk.
That's what I'm saying. Manning had Faulk for his first 4 years.
Was that
No,
Falk?
not that many.
No.
Not that many, no.
It was like 2 years, and they drafted Edgerrin.
You're right. It's 2 years. Yeah, that's right.
If these are cumulative,
They drafted Edgerrin his second year,
I would definitely add
so
Peyton.
1 year with
I don't
Falk.
know.
That's it.
Oh, that's right. Only one.
If you're
Okay,
adding,
never mind then.
If you're adding Peyton to a already Marshall Faulk laden Saints,
It'd be
team.
insane.
Oh man,
That's the one I kept thinking of, and Corey immediately brought it up because I was like, "Is that worth doing to gain that many?" We don't have a lot of really good years in our history.
No, we don't.
You're talking
Yeah.
about maybe 5 more playoff years added to how many playoffs have we made? We made the playoffs 10 times in team history.
Something like that.
what, twice under Moore?
12
three
times.
It was 3 or 4 times under Moore.
And
Either
then,
way. And then
once with Hazlitt.
Once with Haslett, and then Peyton was.
What
a
did
lot.
Drew go? 9 and 8, 8 and no.
Look, it is a discussion, absolutely. I just didn't expect
With
you
that said,
to be
I'd
making
probably
that
just take
discussion.
Terry Bradshaw and hope we were better.
And then
There we go. That's what I expected out of you.
then you're what?
I lose
Bradshaw.
Archie.
You
I lose Archie. I'm fine with that.
Oh.
So it's either one of the retired numbers, de facto retired numbers is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So which one's it going to be, Bradshaw or I think the easier pick is Bradshaw over Archie.
I mean, I'm not saying he's the reason, but he won 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So
Now, they
I
have
would,
the Steel
I would make
curtain and
that
all
trade.
that.
Yeah,
I agree
exactly.
with that. I agree with that path.
And we were
Yeah.
terrible, so I'll shake it up. Like
You
Archie
just
didn't
hope.
move the needle. Maybe
Yeah.
Terry could. I don't know.
This is a fun one. This is really
the
fun.
past one is more.
That's why I wanted to speed through the current one and get that out of the way.
Yeah, it's because there's a lot that could still develop in the current. All right.
We sucked in the 70s. Let's
We
just be
did,
real.
and I like your approach of
'Cause
just doing something. Just fuck it. See if Bradshaw makes.
That was kind of one of the thoughts I had, because I joked about Richie Pettibon.
You're not going
Jazz
with
was
that?
Great. No, well was he defense? I'm not going to go with that. Either way.
Come on.
Would have been
You
great.
kept
Would have been
dropping his
great.
name last time, and you don't
I
even
know.
know what he played.
I knew it. I knew it.
Southwest Missouri, Montana
I
State.
knew, I knew when I looked him up, but that was a whole 2 weeks ago, so my memory's fading. I think I'm gonna. It might not be the sexiest pick, but I got to go with Reggie Wayne. Played from 01 to 14.
I think that's a great pick because
really good
we
pick.
did not have. You'd lose your Colston a little bit.
You lose
Yeah,
Joe
that's
Horn.
okay.
That's your guy.
Well, or does Joe Horn become number 2? I mean, wide receiver, you said.
Well,
a
you
lot-
bump him down enough.
Yeah, so, if that, I think Horn would be a 2 to Wayne, at least, or Wayne comes
I
in
don't
an
know, man. Prime Horn was-
Wayne comes in an 01.
Prime Wayne was really Colston's
after,
era, though.
yeah.
Horn was a little earlier.
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
going out. I mean, Wayne came in the same year as Deuce and Brees, I believe,
So,
2001.
like, Wayne would become your prime, your number
Marvin
1.
Harrison was still
Right, he
Horn.
was a number 2 for 3 years
was a
before
number
he
two
hit his
for the
prime.
So, yeah, you have to
So you
assume.
don't bump Horn. You bump your guy, your
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's who you
Colston
bump.
becomes.
Which is fair because he's a
Number
far
two.
But as a
superior player
2,
than
Colston would have been exceptional.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, could have put Colston in the slot.
Yeah, I can't poke any holes in that because that bumps Colston down to the 2. Which
And you're adding him to
Brees.
You're giving the
You're giving Brees a
playoff-
prime.
well, it's kind of a throughway because the year he's a rookie, you're adding him. Remember we signed Albert Connell, hoping that he could help the offense that just won the playoff game, and it was kind of like, yeah, that
Well,
sucked.
when Wayne
You
was
know,
probably 29, 30, 31 is when Jimmy came around. You would have Colston, Jimmy, and Wayne for like
Lance
3 or 4
Moore.
years.
'Cause, yeah, he would go from 01, the tail end of the
Yeah.
playoff winning squad, then goes into the Super Bowl team, then tails into the 2011 team. So he covers
That's true. You take him
all
off
three.
the Colts
Yeah.
Super Bowl team and you put him on ours.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
wow, that's.
I think
No, I'm with that.
And he's
That's
and he's
a
actually
good pick.
not only is Louisiana, he's New Orleans.
we
so-
did not have a
That's a good pick.
Hall of Fame caliber receiver in the
Right.
history of the team. We have
Right.
to keep that in mind. Maybe MT had his moment, but
Right.
it was
It
for
wasn't
3 or 4 years of dominance, and that was it.
It wasn't sustained.
Right. So
I like that pick.
Yeah.
Easy to push anyone down the depth chart.
I like his fuck it, just do something different pick. But yours is actually, I like your pick a lot. 'Cause that really would give Brees that
He would have been
A+ weapon he never had at wide receiver until
Wayne would have been our best player on the team until Brees came in. And then you're drafting Reggie, you're signing Brees, and Wayne's just like.
When did Wayne pop off? No, look that up, because Joe Horn would have been the best player until then.
Oh no, you're right. I guess you're right. Yeah,
because Wayne took a little bit to get revved up, and then when Harrison was gone,
he was good his second year though. He wasn't
the
Pro
one,
Bowl.
though. Yeah,
but
yeah.
He wasn't like the
until
best
Marvin was
right.
gone.
He was the 2 until Marvin left.
Yeah.
So he's not. Joe Horn's still your best receiver,
And they were only drafted 5 years apart, so Marvin was around for a while.
yeah, no, that was the best duo in the league for a
13
minute.
13
I
years.
think Marvin was drafted in '96.
Said 13 years as a starter. Said years. Oh, Marvin and Reggie. Yeah, Reggie says drafted 01
Yep.
to 14.
Well, let me ask you this: do you have any honorable mentions? Could I have one?
I was looking at the offensive because there's some good offensive linemen from Louisiana. Faneca,
Yeah.
Whitworth.
Faneca's
McClure.
first ballot Hall of Famer, I
Yeah,
think.
so-
Faneca's almost a no-brainer.
I think, yeah, Faneca would have replaced Carl Nix, essentially, because he played until 2011. But unless you're saying he wasn't that good enough at the tail end of his career.
He's better than Carl Nix. Period. I don't think that's a problem at all.
And he also plays for the Haslett team, so he would have replaced.
He also played some center, didn't he? Or just guard in the pro?
I think he was just guard.
I think he may have played some center at LSU.
So
but
my honorable mentions were the linemen. Whitworth would have been a tackle replacing his tail Rofe retired before.
No, you're at 06, so you're starting to talk about
Jamal Brown, and then
Goodwin before
Ramczyk
that.
would have lost most of for a number of
Armstead.
his years. You lost 5 years of Ramczyk. Tehran.
Whitworth was a left tackle, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so you lose Tehran.
Tehran.
Who was the first round pick? The one who had the bad knee.
Jamal.
Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah, you lose him.
Well, that's fine.
That's fine.
He was a Pro Bowler until the knee started to get arthritic and stuff.
Ramczyk was a right tackle, so you don't lose him. So there's a case for that. Selfishly, I throw Warwick Dunn in my mix because that's one of my favorite players of all time.
Okay, so I was looking at Warwick Dunn. He definitely would knock out.
He's Ricky and Deuce,
Yeah,
both of them.
Yeah.
because he came later.
Again, I'm fine with that. 'cause
All
he's
of Ricky,
fine.
all of Deuce, because he played forever.
He was 97 to 08. So you might say you still could have conceivably drafted Reggie as your kind of.
Arguably my favorite non-Saint ever.
He was great.
He's good. He made Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
He was never a top 3 running back in the league, but he was always awesome.
3 Pro Bowls.
10 years as a starter as a running back. An undersized running back is fucking insane.
Yeah, he's got 10,000 yards, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so defense.
Yeah, so I went first, so I'll go last. Which one of y'all's going first?
I just went last on offense, right?
Yes, you
Yeah,
did.
so I'll go first on
This one's
defense.
easy for me. But
I
I'm
mean-
not going to get my picks, so I got to.
I gotta double check his years.
It doesn't matter.
Ed Reed.
It doesn't matter.
Said we.
I mean, it's the greatest safety in the history of the game, in my opinion. So, like, anyone he supplants, Sandy Knight.
02 to 13. Yeah, no, there's no one. We've never had a safety that good.
No.
So yeah, Ed Reed is. I'm gonna take advantage of the number 1 pick there.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
So who's up
Number
next?
2, I'll go 2 is Aeneas for sure. For me.
Yeah.
No, that's it, too.
Another Hall of Famer, dominant for, I think he played probably close to 15 years. I don't know.
He played forever.
Yeah, and he was good for a long time.
He was 13 years,
13? All-Pro, how many times?
3 first-team All-Pros, 8 Pro Bowls.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Played
elite.
211 games, and he's actually from the city of New Orleans.
Yep. And,
Local high school.
he was drafted, 91? Is that right?
91.
Okay, so what are you really losing?
God, you're throwing him on the Dome Patrol teams.
Think about that. Yeah.
I mean,
What was our biggest weakness? Probably corner.
yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, one of the best of all time, and to throw in a defense that was incredible, and without a true lockdown corner at that time in the early 90s, I think that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Am I up?
You're up. Do you have any in mind, or you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
To me, there were 3 guys in that were pretty much my top 3. Obviously, you guys took number 1 and number 2. Honey Badger, there's a fun case, but no, he's not my pick. I'm going with Nnamdi Asomugha, who was elite.
For like 3 years.
No, longer than that. 4-time All-Pro.
4? Wow.
4-time All-Pro.
I mean, one of the all-time fall off a cliff guys ever, though.
Yeah, now he's like...
In his prime.
Hey.
Like, just all of a sudden he couldn't play football, and then he went to the Eagles. It was weird.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. So if you look at his All-Pro seasons and when they were, they overlap with Brees and Peyton getting here.
Yeah, see,
So he was a 2-time second.
He made it here eventually, didn't he? We signed him.
09.
Did we?
Did we sign him? Or did we bring him into camp and not sign him?
We never signed him.
We flirted with him way after.
Yeah, so he played in Oakland in 03 to 2010.
It's an
The
interesting
Eagles
pick.
2011, 2012, and the Niners in 2013. But here's the deal. This is what you got to look at. So 2-time first-team All-Pro, 2008, 2010. 2-time second-team All-Pro, 2006, 2009. 3-time Pro Bowler, 2008 through 2010. So the key at that point is I'm looking at when those All-Pros are, and those overlap with 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
So Super Bowl year, and then the year where we played the Bears in Chicago.
Yeah.
Who was our best corner in the 06 season?
Good Lord.
Jabari?
No, he wasn't here yet. He signed him for the Super Bowl. Was it Freddie Thomas?
Mike
I
McKenzie?
think it was Fred Thomas.
I think it's
Fred
Fred
Thomas?
Thomas. McKenzie.
Mackenzie didn't come till 09.
Yeah, he came after.
09 he came? Wow, I thought he
Yeah.
was there sooner.
Maybe 08.
Look that up, though. I think McKenzie might have been. I think we re-signed
What you
him.
talking, 2006?
So, yeah, look up the 2006 Saints depth chart. It should populate. But for me, so Nnamdi Asomugha, it took him a couple years to get revved up. But when he got revved up, which was the 06 season.
Oh, shit. We did have Mike McKenzie on the
Yeah,
list.
no, but McKenzie came back for a second time.
McKenzie and Fred Thomas were your corners.
Right. Okay, so that 06 team, imagine plugging in first team All-Pro Nnamdi Asomugha into that lineup. All of a sudden, the defense is a lot better.
Yeah.
Because his side of the field was on lockdown. It was him and Rivas
Yeah.
were like the two top guys for a couple years.
That's a good use of the exercise of this. Who could most help us?
Yeah, and to me...
Because he might not be like the top of the best players from Louisiana all time retired, but
in his prime,
where
he
you-
was
but-
arguably the best corner in the league.
where
It
you
was
plug
him
him
and Rivas
in,
Allen.
yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, if you plug him in, and that 06 team might win the Super Bowl.
No,
And then-
I disagree with that.
Look, there's a chance. It makes them...
That Colts team would have wore us out, even with him, I think.
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, you got a much better chance if you got him playing cornerback on that team.
Weren't we 10-6 that year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were
good,
but we were
we
pretty
weren't
slim.
ready. I don't think. That's my personal opinion. I think that was an overachieving year, which was a
It
great,
absolutely was.
great
But
coaching job and great.
My point is, he's infinitely better than Fred Thomas.
For
He
sure.
was
Oh,
way
absolutely.
better than Mike McKenzie that year. So you plug him in right into the prime. Now remember, we had a couple of down
We
years
also
in
had,
07 and 08.
Remember Jason Kraft? We also had him that year.
Remember 07 and 08 were down years. I
Yep.
believe we went 7
Yep.
and 9 back to back after the miracle first season. Mm-hmm. Maybe he makes a difference on those teams, and one of those teams turns into a playoff team. You don't
Yep.
know, but you plug him in. That Super Bowl team is absolutely still winning the Super Bowl with him. But I think that 06 team all of a sudden has a chance.
In
And then
11,
that
you think
2010
so?
team, which is the one that lost to Seattle in Seattle with
Yeah.
Beastquake.
Yeah.
Maybe he makes a bit of a difference there, wins just one or two more games to where we don't have to go to Seattle for that bullshit.
We had 2 playoff losses in Seattle. Because we had that one in, what was it, 12?
Right. So he was fucking incredible.
Yeah, but I think you have to give it with a caveat. When he went to the Eagles, he was terrible, and that was
That's fine. Give me his 4-year All-Pro years right in the heart of the
right. It was 7, 8, 9, 10, right? Is
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So basically, you pass on.
Well, he
by
was-
taking him. We could talk about the guys who are still on the list.
7, I think he was hurt.
After-
So it was
after
6
this.
to 10. So it's 5-year window.
You had
1 year he was hurt.
Patrick Surtain, senior.
He was
or
damn
junior.
good. He's not. Was he?
Well, he's still playing.
Take Junior right now.
Oh, shit. We didn't even think about Patrick Surtain Jr.
No, I don't think he
Yeah.
was born here though, right?
Oh no, you're right. He was born in Miami.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, Jesus, that's a huge omission.
Because he was living in Miami, obviously playing for the
So-
Dolphins when.
The guys that were still there, or that are still there on defense, Kyle Williams.
I'm not taking him over anybody we said.
Not
even
So
considering
Kyle,
it.
I think Patrick Surtain's
Was Cameron Hayward born here?
interesting.
That would have been
don't think
another
so.
go. He wasn't?
I don't think so.
Because he went to school in Kenner.
Look it
I
up
know
real
that.
Well, if he went to high school here,
He went to. No, I think he was gone by then because he moved to Atlanta, remember? Ironhead.
you could have picked Richie Petitbon. He was a DB.
Why would I?
59 to 72.
I don't care where he went to high school, Corey. I'm not
course
picking
you
him.
did.
I never watched him play. Neil Smith.
Neil Smith is an interesting one.
Born in Pittsburgh.
From New Orleans. Cam Hayward.
No shit, he was born in Pittsburgh?
That's bizarre. How is that?
Oh, that's where
That's where he's from. He went to school
so
there.
He probably just moved
But
back
was he
there.
born that early? Or just never moved to New Orleans?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He was born in 89. Ironhead was here.
Now,
And he went to school in Kenner. For sure.
You could have had.
Ironhead, he goes back to where he was born to give birth. So he goes
I
back-
guess so. I guess they went home.
We're back to homeland.
He was born in the off season. That's why.
So I think the two most interesting ones off the
Neil
list is
Smith.
Surtain, Neil Smith, adding him to
Huge.
Ricky and all the Ricky and crew, because he was drafted in '88, played until 2000. So he was good up until his last year.
Adding him to the Dome Patrol.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Next to Wayne Martin. Jesus Christ.
Could have wreaked some havoc.
That is ferocious.
Yeah.
Scroll down, give us some more.
Would you lose Leroy as part of that?
No, because
It'd be
he was an edge.
just 2
Be
years.
right at
Just
the
2
end.
years.
His
'Cause
last
what was
year-
Leroy?
No,
98.
Leroy was a defensive tackle, though. Neil Smith's
Yeah.
a defensive end.
Yeah, and Leroy's
you don't
Neil
lose-
Smith's last year was 2000.
We're in the 3-4. So who are we losing?
You got Wayne Martin,
Who was the
Leroy
other guy?
Glover. Who would have been the...
No, well, who's the nose tackle for the Dome Patrol?
Frank Warren.
Oh, Leroy wasn't part of the Dome Patrol.
No.
No, he wasn't. He was
Right.
after. But
Well, we weren't a
but he was here before Neil Smith was done.
Though, because he was next to Norman Hand. We were 4-3.
Yeah.
Right, but he was drafted in 88, right? Or am I off on
88.
that?
He was by the
88.
Raiders, though. We didn't get him right away, remember?
I'm talking about Neil Smith.
Neil
So
Smith,
in
yeah.
88, you'd have to bump somebody in 88 in the Dome Patrol. Who gets bumped?
Frank Warren or somebody like that. Which
Jim Wilkes?
Jim Wilkes, someone you're fine with bumping.
Let's see who
Yeah,
that-
there's no other defensive guys.
Because
Wayne got here in 89.
Right, he was out of Arkansas.
Because Aeneas Williams is the highest rated.
Aeneas
Obviously,
Williams is your no-brainer after Ed
you got
Reed.
some old guys. Willie Davis
Yeah, I mean, I don't think any
From-
of us can speak.
He went to LSU.
played from 58 to 69.
Oh, not that Willie Davis. Different Willie Davis.
Isaiah
Okay.
Robertson,
Sure, there's a lot of Willie
linebacker,
Davises.
two first pro all team, first
Yeah, but I mean, none of us watched
two
these
first
guys,
team all
so.
pros played till 82. Then Ed Reed, Neil Smith, considered third ranked defender of modern note, and then
They don't have Ed Reed first?
No, which
That's
is crazy
insane.
to me.
That is absolutely insane.
this is I've never heard this site before today.
Delete the site.
Stacker.com. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand.
They
that.
put Aeneas Williams 5, and then Ed Reed
Ed Reed needs to be higher.
at
than
number
that.
10.
Yeah.
Ed Reed should be number 2,
It's kind of like just to get
2 or 3.
Kyle Williams.
Your top 3 needs to be Manning, Falk, Ed Reed in some order,
Yeah,
and Aeneas
I
Williams
agree.
absolutely needs to be top 5.
yeah, I agree with that.
Eddie Kennison, Jerry Fontenot,
Fontenot was good.
Honey Badger.
Yeah, Eddie Kennison's career was a little better than people remember in the pros.
There's awesome wire on that list. All right.
Yeah, he's on this list. But you're
Mark Carey, Cordell Stewart.
Cordell Stewart,
That's hilarious.
honorable mention.
The first
for
Taysom.
offense.
Yeah, Taysom before Taysom, man.
Eugene Daniels.
Did I spot Eddie Kennison on there?
Steve Foley, he was just recently inducted into the Broncos Ring of Honor because he's friends with my boss at work, and he went for the whole ceremony and stuff.
Santana Dotson's
Judge the
from
guy.
you?
Apparently,
He was a good player.
Eddie Kennison had 8,000 yards.
yeah. Who else?
People don't realize that.
Yeah, with
Saint-
the Rams. He was-
Saints Wire,
Chiefs, mainly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Jesus.
Demar
never mind.
Dotson, Whitworth.
And look at that. Only 2 1,000-yard seasons. That's wild.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 800-yard
God
seasons.
damn, man. He nickeled and dimed those. Every bit of those 8,000 yards.
But he was also an elite returner that whole time. Well,
he was incredible,
not the whole time.
man.
Yeah, he was
coming at LSU, man. He was awesome.
Saints Wire did this list in 2020. Trey Turner, guard. Guys we haven't mentioned yet. Todd McClure. There's Neil Smith.
Yeah, that dude was good.
Fred Dean.
That's an interesting.
That's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
San Fran?
Yeah. This Kyle Williams. Gary Big Hands Johnson.
Who knows?
Bogus.
That's definitely an old school
1975
guy.
draft class.
Whenever you see nicknames like that,
Dion.
that's an old school guy.
Debo was decent in 2020, so he's on the list. Devin White. There's Devin White.
No Bobby Hebert.
No.
Yeah, no thanks.
Albert Lewis.
This is an old list, man. Because if you got
This one's from 2020. And then Ed Reed.
Yeah, I mean Ed Reed.
Brian Clark.
No.
I mean,
No, God no.
There's Tyrann.
Oh, so they did it by starting lineup.
Yeah.
Brian Mitchell. Shit, forgot about him. You're going special teams or all purpose.
I found this one interesting. If we needed,
I think Brian Mitchell.
Goskowski would have been an interesting ad.
Yeah, who you gonna? What years was he? Oh no, he was.
He would have
after.
replaced Hartley, and
Yeah, but the kicker only
Jones.
hurt us in our bad years.
Yeah,
Luckily.
I'm not.
We were lucky. Our kickers were pretty clutch in our best seasons. We never got that jinx.
it was interesting because Pro Football Reference only for their list of players born in Louisiana only went back to 2004 for their draft year, but
No, it goes back further. You got to click on it. I looked at it.
oh, okay,
You got to scroll all the way down, and you can.
you can change the parameters.
You can get more. It'll go back further.
Yeah.
I got in the weeds on that, and I was like, I don't know who half these people are.
Yeah.
But no, that's a fun exercise because I think the with the current guys.
Eddie Lacy's from Gretna? I didn't know that.
Yeah, Big Fat Eddie. I wonder what happened to him.
He's got a Gretna diet. I can tell you that.
Yeah, the Gretna came out on him.
Yeah, big time.
Shots fired at Gretna listeners.
Sorry, Gretna.
There's a lot of good eating over there.
There you go.
Little
Good
mom and pop
recovery.
restaurants.
Get some
The
good
Wabbit.
Vietnamese food over
Just
there.
fried seafood.
The
Well,
Wabbit.
they do have tons of good.
There's some really good Vietnamese over there. I'm
the
not going to
best.
speak for the rest of it.
Jarvis at a time. Oh,
Not that the New Orleans diet is much better.
OBJ.
No.
Would he be considered current?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, no, I guess either way. He
he hasn't officially retired, right? But he's not going to get. He's not going to be better than Jamar, Justin.
Well, no, you wouldn't have lost
Neighbors,
any of those
CD.
years, really, right?
You're not taking him over any of the receivers we took.
There's a case to be made that you would have him for the back end of Drew's career, a more explosive. The question is, him and Michael Thomas, does that change shit at the end of it? Might.
Who are you bumping for?
Because think of it this way: when you're taking a Jefferson or a Chase, you're just getting post Drew Brees.
Yeah, well, hold on. I think
You
he needs to
get
be
Brees,
considered. He needs to
Odell.
be considered a past guy because he's not on a team and he didn't
He's
play
essentially
last year.
passed.
Agreed. But you're bumping Mike Thomas down to the 2, right? Because he's 2014. Mike Thomas
No,
was.
I get
16.
that, but who of the 3 people that we picked for the past players on offense would you bump for him?
Terry Bradshaw. I might change my thing.
Yeah, you could.
You could convince me to do that.
We're still recording. You can go ahead and change
Yeah.
it.
Because
Make it
if
official?
you put Odell and Mike Thomas with Breeze from 15,
Yeah.
16, 17, well, 16 starting with Mike,
And
Mike became all pro 17. Odell was still prime.
yeah, one of
Odell.
our biggest issues outside of Mike Thomas was that
No explosiveness.
there was-
Everything was
So I
short.
think you
Willie
need to go
Snead.
ahead and amend your. You got to make this change. No, you have to. You have to because
or
the Bradshaw was a total.
I was thinking of him as current, and we shouldn't because
He's not. He didn't play last
he just said he wants to come back, but he didn't play last year, correct?
we
He was
think-
with Miami just a year ago.
Here's
But he
another
didn't.
one.
He wasn't on the roster last
He
year,
wasn't
correct?
on the roster.
This is probably a no, but does Leonard Fournette fare better here than Jacksonville, starting in 2017?
No.
Stop.
Well, you're talking about getting rid of Ingram and AK. So no, you're not doing that.
You have to get rid of one of them. Yeah.
No,
You're not doing that,
No,
you're
probably.
not doing that.
I'm looking at-
And I'm one of the people who think Leonard Fournette had a just fine a good career.
Yeah.
He didn't. He was not a. That people. I know the big thing came out as a huge bust. He wasn't a
yeah.
huge bust.
And
He wasn't.
I'm looking at
elite.
names that stand out as I'm going through.
Well, hold on. So, are you going to go ahead? You got to amend this because that.
Yeah, I'm going to
you
amend it
just made
because
the case.
I think OBJ is a good
I
one.
would when he
you.
was not on a roster last year.
Because we had
Check that. If he wasn't on a roster last year, I'm amending it. I viewed him as he was still in the league last year, but he may not have been.
he ended up.
Was he in a camp in
I'm
25?
looking it up right now. It's just,
I don't think he was.
He did not play last year.
Okay, so I'm going to amend it because I don't think Bradshaw.
And to be fair, he had 9 catches in 24.
I know, but he was still on a team, so that's a current versus a non-current.
He's not current.
If he's not a current player, then I'm switching because
he's not. If you sit out a full calendar year and it's not due to injury,
we never gave. And I'm going to say this too. I would have much rather had if I had to get rid of Mike Thomas altogether for prime Odell, I would have done it because what Odell could do was anything on the football field.
Well, Odell came out in 2014, so you don't even get Mike Thomas until his third year.
He's elite in his third year still.
Which is actually perfect because Mike Thomas exploded in 2017, which was the year Odell only played in 4 games. And
that's when he first got hurt.
Yards. Yeah. So Mike Thomas fills that void right there, and then you have him overlapping for 1,000. Odell was really never the same after that, though. That's kind of the problem.
It's true, but give Drew 14, 15. Give Drew 14 and 15, Odell. And tell me that doesn't change.
Is that overlapping with the worst defense in NFL history?
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd certainly help us in the shootouts.
It would, for sure.
I'm still doing it. I'm doing it. And then if you want to make him the 2 when Mike became the juggernaut, I mean, when he came back and he was playing with the Rams with a good offense, Odell looked really good.
Wide receivers.
You say that, but
one of those
the numbers
where
show basically nothing elite after his first 3 years. 2017, 300 yards injury.
Did you see the McVay interview where he's like the whole Super Bowl was being run through Odell because we knew they couldn't stop him?
I did see that.
And basically
it was believable.
Yeah. Well, he had a touchdown. He had another long catch. They came out. Odell was the focus of the offense. The whole game plan was right.
No, that's fine. But I mean, 1,000 yards. Browns. I get it, but there's circumstance too.
He's damn good.
I'm doing that for sure.
I hear you, but
Brees never played with a guy who could do what Odell did for however many years you want to give him. 3, 5, whatever you want to give him.
My point is, though, you don't get prime Odell overlapping with prime Michael Thomas.
Now,
you get prime Odell leading into prime Michael Thomas.
Okay, so because you went before me, you technically have the chance to take Reggie over Odell. But considering I took Reggie...
No, I'll just switch mine.
Yeah.
Because you would have to take...
Then I would
you would have to take Odell. Terry over... You would have to
OBJ,
switch.
Yeah.
So
same difference.
I think you have to do it because I'm giving Brees. Brees didn't have a guy who could do what he could do.
I think I agree
14,
with you.
15, 16.
But again, you're not rolling with prime Odell and prime Mike Thomas. It's just not happening. You get prime Odell leading into Mike Thomas, then you get prime Mike Thomas with a lesser Odell. Which it's probably enough to get Brees a title.
What I'm saying is I don't know that it was that much of a lesser Odell those few years other than the team situations being a catastrophe.
So what we're saying is the quality of Odell is debatable.
The quality of Odell is debatable after you get past it.
Certainly not 14, 15, 16.
Because you're saying definitely
not debatable.
Maybe the best receiver in the league, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah,
agree 1,000%.
Because you're saying Odell had more of a shelf life. You're saying... Not so much, but either way, you're saying...
No, he had more of a shelf life, but it wasn't prime Odell.
But
it wasn't
prime.
Best receiver in the league, Odell.
Nick's arguing it could have been... You're making the what could have been argument, basically.
Him acting like a jackass with the Crews and getting sent out of there and going to Cleveland hurt him more than that injury, I think. Now, I do believe the second injury really hurt him. That was it. The Super Bowl injury ruined his career. That was it.
I'm just looking at the numbers and just remembering the first 3 years he was unstoppable.
I don't think you're hearing me. I understand the numbers. I'm saying the circumstance contributed to those numbers being that bad. I mean, they had Cleveland's Cleveland, dude. It's Cleveland. It's terrible.
He put up an identical year in Cleveland to his last year in New York.
I know his last year in New York was a mess. That's when they benched Eli and all that, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
I think... And, I think...
I just forget that his true prime, it's like Michael Thomas's
His
prime.
production prime.
His production
was
prime
very short.
Very constricted, just like Michael Thomas.
I don't think the player was that much worse in those few subsequent years after 17. I think 18, 19, 20, he was still a very, very good player in a bad situation.
I agree he was still a very, very good player.
You put that with... I know that was the worst defensive years in 14, 15, 16, but it was also some of Brees's 5,000-yard seasons. You add that component to a team where we had to outscore everyone, we would have been unstoppable. It was also some of Brees's bigger turnover years because he had to do so much. Mm-hmm. So take some of that off the table.
No, look, again, I think you're correct to make the switch because the Bradshaw one it's not a cop-out, but it's almost like
it's not. We sucked. Maybe we could have been better.
Maybe he makes a difference, but
Hall of
none
Fame.
of us think that Bradshaw's the reason the
There's
Steelers
also
won
debates
4
about
Super
Terry
Bowls in
Bradshaw
70.
himself. Like,
Right. No
considering
one here thinks that Bradshaw's the reason the Steelers
he could have
won 4 Super Bowls.
easily been worse than Archie.
Maybe
In the
He could have been.
circumstances.
Right. Yeah,
You know?
he could have been. Now, Odell, I would have much rather seen prime Odell here because then maybe it does change shit in those years. But the defense was so fucking bad. It would have taken damn near
Let's call him the
2,000
number
yards.
1 receiver till the injury and the number 2 receiver while
the injury.
Mike was winning Offensive Player of the Year.
Look, I
And then
think
they both
that's-
fall off a cliff about the same time.
They do. But think about that window
both
for
on Bourbon
Drew,
Street,
giving
just
him
like-
that.
They're both on the boat cruise doing whatever they
they're
do.
on the Natchez.
I think the
Going
difference is
wild.
Odell could take the short route to the house,
Absolutely.
kind of like Jamar, which we did not really have. We had
Oh,
guys who
no.
could do things.
Agree
And
1,000%. It's just funny to think about having 2 just unbelievable runs at receiver back to back. But you only really get 6 total years of this elite run.
Yeah, they both go out at the same time in flames. They do like the meme of like the handshake. Like,
It's like all of a sudden you just have basically Jamar Chase for 6 years, but it's 2 completely different.
it would have
type of
timed
players.
up perfect for Brees, though. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Odell's 8th year would have been Brees' last year. Odell turning 30 after that season. Like, that's when he really fell off the cliff.
It's just a shame that he did fall off a cliff because it's such a
Yeah, he was a Hall of Fame talent.
If he would have stayed
without
healthy.
a doubt.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we have anybody else we need to mention or discuss?
I'm trying to look. I'm looking at other names that just stand out. We said how Cordell Stewart stood out. I mean,
You're not.
he would have actually between 95 and 05, he would have directly replaced the Billy.
It
Joe,
would have been more
Billy Joe.
It would have been
Blake
more
era.
fun.
It would have been more fun.
It wouldn't have really.
You're not going to
Yeah,
pick
you're not
him over
moving
anybody
anybody.
else, but his particular era makes it interesting. Eddie Kennison, I think even when he was playing, there was a lot of people like, we should go get Kennison, man.
Troy Edwards on there.
That was a hell of a college player, boy.
Pat Williams, Michael Pittman.
Jake Delhomme.
Yeah, we had him. There's some guys that are good that we've actually had. It's funny how many guys you look at this and we're like, oh, we had him on our team.
Michael Pittman was actually born here?
Arthur Millette,
That's funny.
was Louisiana. We have Godshaw currently. We've got Justin Reed. There's a few guys. Kevin Falk would have been interesting. You're not going to pick him over the other guys we said, but
Good player.
Adding him to
He was
that
just a solid
that
player.
2000 team, but he's one who definitely bumps dues because you couldn't have those two at the same time.
Yeah, if you have to make it, he was never really a starter.
Or
he was.
you could make the argument that if you added him as a third down back,
Yeah,
that could have been
that's what I was
pretty-
going to say.
That could have been pretty badass.
If you're replacing your third down pack, which he wasn't like a number 1 running back. He was great at that. Great in
Yeah.
pass protection. Great receiver. What's he got? 3 Super Bowls? 4 Super Bowls?
Who, Falk?
Yeah,
he's got a few.
3 at least.
Let's see.
Yeah, is there anybody else that just jumps out? I'm looking over your shoulder. I don't really see anybody.
Would have been nice. Yeah, no. I was gonna say.
Keep scrolling. No, I think we pretty much covered everybody. That's a fun exercise, though. That was a good.
There's enough to look at and think about.
You know what would be a fun sequel to this episode would be constructing the
a full
all
lineup?
24, like the
Yeah.
starting offense, starting defense, and the starting special
Yeah.
teams, and just doing it with the same parameters. I think
Randall
that would be
Gay.
fun.
Ooh, Michael Clayton had a good run.
He had a good year.
He had a good year. That's it.
He won Rookie of the Year.
There's
fell off
a
a cliff.
bunch that we ended
That's falling
up
off a
getting.
cliff.
When you look at we had Devery, we had Randall Gay's on here.
Yeah, like the narrative of the Saints hate LSU players is kind of crazy. There's been a bunch of LSU players on the Saints.
Yeah, they just haven't been good.
Marcus Spears would have been from 05 to 2013.
Chris Henry.
He's North Louisiana, right? Was he Shreveport or Bossier or something like that?
Chris Henry was West Bank.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. I wonder if his son was.
Michael Wallace is another.
I gotta look that up.
Mike Wallace was
He was
speed
pretty
demon.
damn good for
and he made Pro
a few
Bowls.
years.
Yeah, he was.
Skylar Green.
Another
Skylar
incredible,
Green, that's
incredible
a
player,
one,
just
yeah.
too small for the NFL.
True story.
What about Trendon Holiday?
True story. Ran a 100-meter dash against Skylar Green, and it did not go well.
Did you make it to the 10 before he finished?
He ran. He
Your
ran
own 10?
He ran a 10.4 in that heat. I was a sophomore. He was a senior, and it was the most real life version of when you have that nightmare where you're trying to run away from the bad guy, but you're running in slow motion.
That dude was in the Olympic trials.
I was running as fast as I fucking could, and all I see is just him pulling away. It felt like I was running in quicksand just watching him. So that was a fun experience.
Damn, I was hoping Chris Henry's son, who is wreaking havoc at Ohio State right now in the spring. He was born in North Carolina, though. Damn.
Is that where he was playing?
I don't know.
He wasn't playing in Cincinnati, right? Unless he went somewhere after. I don't know.
LaRon Landry.
Maybe they were playing the Panthers that weekend.
Could we have used LaRon Landry? I'm trying to think. I mean, that would have been smack dab during Roman's time.
You're not putting him.
He was
a good player though, juicer. Just like Justin Reed's brother was a juicer. But Eric Reed was a good player for 3 or 4 years.
Was really good.
Yeah.
Really
And then he got too big. Just like Jamal Adams got too big. That was an LSU safety thing. They all like to get massive.
Would have been nice to have
LaRon Landry was on a different level of getting massive. That dude was.
Would have been nice to have Jacob Hester as fullback. 08 to 12.
Sure. He had a longer career than people. Would he play 7 or 8 years?
08 to 12.
8.
So.
Don't look. We've reached the point where we need to wrap up the episode. If you're trying to sell us on a fucking fullback, in the 20s,
Glenn Dorsey, he was good. Yeah,
he wasn't.
Well, we wanted him badly. We got Cedric Ellis instead that year, but we did want Dorsey.
Yeah,
I know. That dude was crazy,
outrageous, dude.
And another guy too. Who we actually had, Tracy Porter from Port Allen. We had him. Keenan Lewis, he was on our team.
He was a good player. Keenan Lewis was a good player.
He served a purpose when he came in.
He's a really good player with Pittsburgh, and he was still a good player with us.
Yeah, but we could get We've reached the.
You're starting to make arguments for fullbacks. That's time to wrap.
We've reached the mediocrity point of the list.
Yeah,
but overall,
fullbacks mediocre.
I mean, it's. Some would say it's a mediocre position. I beg to differ. I think it changes in offense.
He died in the 80s.
We made it through the whole episode without even saying Eli, so that's good.
He kept popping up, but he can't. I mean, no. Peyton.
That's getting rid of all of Drew. There's a no.
No. You can't touch Eli.
You know, it'd be fun though. Maybe in about 25 years, we can revisit it when Taysom Hill's kids grow up a little bit because they were born here. Tyler Shuck's son born here. Wouldn't surprise me if Travis Achan's son, Saint Achan, was born here. Knowing him.
Not Achan. Etienne. I thought you were saying Achan. I thought you were saying the other one. I know.
Achan?
Achan, yeah.
Like we said before, he changed it.
Jesus, man. It's the wildest thing ever. Like, I'm curious how the Panthers are dealing with it because, Lil Bro's there and they've been mispronouncing their names for the better part of their adult lives.
Yeah, what are they going to say, like, post-game? Like, oh, there's H.N. meeting with Etienne and the good old brothers. Yeah.
Man.
We'll see.
I'm waiting for you to spring up the name change. Like, we've been saying Mall incorrectly all these years.
I thought I said it last episode.
Oh, yeah, what'd you say? It was Mole? No.
Mole.
I don't know what I said. It's
He's still trying to figure out his own name pronunciation.
Malchan.
Malchan?
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Anyway, Coy, take us home.
All right. Well, thanks for sitting with us through this fun exercise. Got a little Louisiana history in the process, but we'll be coming at you with some other fun episodes during this off period before the draft. But until then, thanks again for listening to the Saintsaholics Anonymous podcast. Who dat?